Welcome to Never Rewrite. I'm Isaac Askew.
And I'm Jeffrey Sherman, and today we're going to convince you to cancel your meetings.
Mm,
This is an annual episode that we try to do, or I guess we don't try, we do, where it's the beginning of the year as we record this, and it's a great time to cancel all those meetings that are sitting on your calendar that kind of have outlived their usefulness, or at the very least, it's a good time to consider whether they've outlived their usefulness and
yeah.
reassess.
Actually, I have one meeting for myself that I
Hmm.
put on my calendar. It's a 15-minute meeting. It's called Metacognition. Ooh. And it's just there to kind of remind me to think about how I'm thinking, to see if there's anything that I could do that's like to better delegate or to better organize, or have I just kind of fallen into some pattern that I do out of the sake of the habit that's not,
Mm-hmm.
necessary. During those times too, also, I think I've cleaned up a few calendar meetings, or just you'll get invitations to recurring meetings for this or that, and um, in one of the companies that I'm consulting for, there's just like infinite meetings, and so I'll just go through and look at them, and I get invites to them all. I'm welcome to attend
Mm-hmm.
them, but some of them I'm like, I don't have an update for that. That's not going to be useful. I'll attend that one because I can give everyone an update in that meeting, and it feels so good to clear out the calendar because they're just time sucks. You can do a lot of communication async, and that the whole uh, meeting should have been an email is a very relevant meme still.
Yes. I find that I get invited to a lot of meetings where I'm there to be advisory and I'm not there to
Yeah,
add anything in particular. And that's sort of useful for everyone in the beginning. And then as time goes on, it becomes less and less useful.
yeah,
Um, I find that I start paying attention less and less. Any meeting where you turn off your camera so that it's not obvious that you're not paying attention is a good meeting to quit.
that's a good metric actually. Yeah, because I see what you mean about being like kind of an advisory thing. Like if someone says something that you're like, well, wait a minute, no, we shouldn't go that route. That's one thing. But if after a while people have got the gist of it, and then maybe
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the meeting they go, okay, here's the summary and here's our takeaway, and they kind of summarize it for you, then you can give feedback. That would be great if you didn't have to just kind of sit through 1 hour of people talking where they mostly didn't need you. Because I can imagine you just turning the camera off until you hear some weird thing that you're like, wait, what? What are we doing here?
Right, and this happens a lot, and I I can't pay attention. I don't have the attention span to
Mm-hmm.
listen to people give daily updates or weekly updates about things where they're going to say exactly what I expect them to say, and so I
Yeah.
start coding or doing other work in the background,
Yep. Same.
and that's a sign. If you're multitasking, like you should be present in a meeting or you shouldn't be in the meeting,
Yeah.
and that's a good sign. If you can't be present, then you shouldn't be present at all.
I wonder if we could take a moment there to maybe push back and help shape the experience for other people, because there's probably other
Hmm.
people in that same meeting who are also trapped in that meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
um, and so I know there's sometimes what I really appreciate is when people actually give you like, this is what this meeting is for. Before we begin, everyone, what the takeaway from this meeting is that we want to have a decision on X, Y, and Z,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And having people help moderate that, or like, because people will go off on tangents frequently, and make sure that everyone comes back to like the point of the meeting rather than kind of waxing poetic about other random things. I think having that either steer the conversation in half the time, so like a 30-minute concentrated meeting instead of a 1 hour block for the meeting,
Yes.
that's just like talking, that might help. Or, you could even call out at the end of the meeting, hey, I noticed that of 10 people here, three people had some things to talk about, and the rest of the people didn't really have much input. So, everyone here, feel free. If you think that these meetings you're not going to have a lot of input in the future on it, feel free to decline or not show up if you think your time is better served. That way, you give other people an out too. Because
Mm.
we're reflecting on it, but maybe they aren't.
Those are very good call outs. I find that well run meetings where there's an agenda and everything else, those don't tend to be recurring meetings.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the meetings where it's like, oh, well, we need to talk about this. We need to check in and sync, and we're just going to do it every week or we're going to do it every day.
Hmm.
Those are the meetings that you get very little out of, and they tend to linger. But I love your idea of, hey, especially if you're a more senior developer or senior person, giving people the permission, giving them the out, instead of just clearing your calendar next time the meeting occurs, ask if the meeting should even continue.
Yeah.
Be the one to say, hey, let's stop this. I think is a very powerful and useful thing to do.
Yeah. And you kind of got me thinking just now too about the recurring nature of some meetings, because the other meeting I talked about, the one where we have the time and we actually have a point and we're trying to target at that. That's generally a meeting that's like we're trying to solve a problem for this thing, and unless it's a recurring problem every week at the exact same time, it's
Mm-hmm.
probably for one particular point. And I feel like maybe some of the recurring rituals are probably more prone to fall prey to uselessness, or at least partial uselessness. And there's some of them, stand-ups every day, if you can actually keep it quick, which some people will let that go on way too long. It should be just a quick update from people and not like a 30-minute update. Stand-up should be like less than 15 minutes, a minute a person kind of thing.
Yeah, I was going to
um,
say a minute a person is pushing it. If your stand up is a
yeah.
minute a person, people are talking too much.
Yeah. And like if you've got that many things to say on something, then you know, maybe some people use it like a parking lot. They'll say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we have a stand up in a parking lot. Everyone give their update, and now everyone can drop off except for the people who had additional parking lot items that we need to discuss while everyone's still here. And then
Yeah,
everybody but two or three people will drop off. And again, you give people permission. You can leave now. You don't have to stay on for everything.
that's right.
I think definitely more junior people will just stay on because they're like, well, I don't want to drop because it looks like I'm not, being a good employee. No, you're being a good employee by like respecting your time and dropping off the call. Yeah,
Yes, we give you permission. You don't have to stay in meetings.
yeah,
That's, if nothing else, remember, you don't have to stay in meetings. It's like the switch from high school to college. You don't have to show up at class.
right. You're an adult. All right. Any other last thoughts on our? Well, we'll do this again in the year.
We'll do it
It's
again in
always
a
just
year.
always just reflect on other meetings you can cancel. Any other
Yes,
kind of
it's
things.
always a good time to cancel meetings, but the beginning of the year is a great time. Any recurring meeting, you should probably cancel it. And don't be afraid to push back and ask for agendas. Don't be
Hmm.
afraid to, at the end of the meeting, be like, hey, do we need to have another meeting? Because I don't think we do. And don't
Yeah,
be afraid to use your influence and position to give other people permission to stop coming to the meetings.
sounds good.
All right. Thank you all for listening. I'm Jeffrey Sherman.
And I'm Isaac Askew, and this is Never Rewrite.